Hello.
Hi,
Hello, good evening. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so do you see my share screen? Not this one. This one. Yeah. Do you see my share screen now?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, good. So today we will continue with the- some parts of Unit 5. Let's see. So we just finished it here at the listening part. So today we will move on to some grammar parts in this one. So we have the first one is some vocabularies, and then we're gonna learn about arrived in and arrive at, and now how to use it at some specific situation. Okay, now let's learn some vocabulary first. The first word we have get in. So these are the phrasal verb because it has the verb with the preposition, so it is called phrasal verb. Okay, so the first one we have the word get in.
Get in.
Get in is arrive at a place. Okay, it just arrive at a place. I get in Hanoi, I get in Ho Chi Minh City. It means that I arrive at Ho Chi Minh City. The next word we have go up. Go up means you go from one place to another place, especially further north or to a city or to a larger town from a smaller place. Okay, so you go up from a smaller place to a larger place, from one place to another place. Okay. The next one we have go by, mean we pass somewhere, go by. I go by the field, I go by my school, when I pass my school. Okay, so the next one we have catch. Can you pronounce it? Catch.
Catch.
Catch. Catch something to be in time. For example, you catch a bus, you catch a train, you catch a plane. Means that you get on the bus, you get on a train, or you get on a plane. You catch something. Okay, the next word we have miss. Miss is to arrive too late for something. For example, when you want to catch a bus, but the bus is already gone, so you say that I missed the bus because I can't catch the bus in time because it is too late for me to catch the bus. So we can say I missed the bus, or I missed the train, or I missed the lesson because I didn't attend the lesson. So we can say I missed the lesson. Okay, the next word we have cross.
Cross.
Yes, cross means to pass from one side to another side. For example, I crossed the street, means that I go from one side of street to another side of street. So we can say I crossed the street. Okay, the last word we have wait for. This is kind of easy. Wait for is that you wait for something. Just I wait for the bus. I wait for my mom. I wait for something or anything. You can say I wait for something. Okay, so to remember all of these vocabularies, we're going to practice one exercise. Here is task 8. You have to complete all the sentences from number 1 to number 5 with all the verbs here. And then you have to, change the word into the correct forms. Okay, so we have 5 sentences. So I think that you should need 4 minutes, 5 questions to do this task. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Finish.
Okay, finished.
Yes.
Okay, number one, what words that you chose for number one?
I think it's get it, get in.
Get in, get in. Okay, number two.
Number two, I think is ride the car.
Ride a car. So get in is here, is like this, or do you want to change the form of the word? Remember, you have to use the correct form. Okay, or is that, or does it? You just put it like this, or do you want to change anything? Okay, just it. How about number three?
Which get get on.
Get on.
Yes, I think is get on.
So I put get on here. Okay, number four. How about number four? There aren't any buses. You have to
Get, you have to get out. Put take a taxi.
take a taxi. Okay, number five. You have to
You have to buy a ticket.
buy a ticket before you
Go.
the train. Okay, now let's check the answer for number one. So here we have number one, you choose get in. So, so here, a scooter, when we use get in, we usually use it for like something that you can sit in, that like car, a bus, or a train, and you get in something and then you sit in there. So here, scooter, we don't use get in. We use ride a scooter. But because the subject is mom, so ride would be changed into rise. My mom rides a scooter to work. Okay. And the number two, definitely is not right. So we have the word get in a car. So let's get in a car and put on your seatbelt. So like you sit in a car and then put on your seatbelt and then we're gonna go. Okay. Number three, I want to get down. I want to get to the town center. So here, because the subject here, he or she want to say that he want to stop at the town center. So he wants to maybe because in this situation we can use get on or get off, but based on its meaning. So we cannot use get on, but we use get off. Get off means you get off the bus, like you go out, like get off. You get off the bus. Có nghĩa là mình xuống xe, get off the bus, because you want to go to stop, to get to the town center, you want to stop at the next stop. Okay, so it is based on the meanings of a sentence. Okay, so we have number 4. So we don't use get off, or we have the phrasal verb like get on foot. Get on foot, you go by your foot, like you walk. Go on foot means you walk. Okay. Okay. Go on foot mean like you walk to somewhere, you walk. You don't use any transportation, but you walk. Means that you go on foot. And the next one, take a taxi is correct. When you take a taxi, like you catch a taxi. And number 5, you have to buy a ticket before you get on a train. The last word, we have get on. Okay, so remember, when you ride a scooter, ride a bike, ride a motorbike. Okay, we use it's like you have to base on the meanings so that you can choose the correct phrasal verb. Okay, so we just finished this one. Now we're going to move to this one. From number 6, number 10. So this is from number 1 to number 5. And we have 4 questions more. So from number 6 to number 5 to number 10. So let's do this one in 4 minutes until, so now is 9:19. So until 9:23. We're gonna check the answer. Just translate the meaning and based on the meaning and then situation, and so that we can choose the correct word. Okay, so 4 minutes start.
Okay.
Okay, so number 6.
Number 6, I think miss.
Miss. So we pronounce 6. We don't say sick. Okay, 6. Yes, 6.
And wait for.
So wait for. Okay, wait for. Number 7.
I think it's cross.
Cross.
Drive.
Never. So can you so you say ride, a drive, right? Drive. Drives. That's right. That's what I want to hear. You have to say drives. Okay. Number 9.
Go up.
Go up. Okay. Number 10.
Lose.
Okay, so lose. This.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's check the answer. So number 6, we have the word miss the bus. Miss the bus. Okay, so what should I do if I miss the bus? Number 1 is correct. Wait for the next one. They come every 5 minutes. So here we have the word miss and wait for. Number 6 is correct. Number 7, look and listen before you cross the road. Very good. So cross the road means that you go from one side of the road to another side of the road. Okay, so number 7 is correct. We have number 8. My uncle never drives to work because he hasn't got a car. Okay, so number 8 is correct. And number 9, go up the stairs is on the left. So we have the phrasal verb go up, go up. Okay, so we use go up the stairs or going down the stairs. Okay, so number 9 is correct. Number 10, Joe never loses his way because he's got a sat nav on his phone. Okay, so we use lose here is correct, but we have to change the form of the word. Okay, so never loses because Joe, because the subject is Joe, is one person, so we have to change into loses. Joe never loses his way because he's got a sat nav on his phone. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, so the next one, so task 8 is almost correct. In the first, in the first time that you did from number 1 to number 5, you kind of made a lot of mistakes. But in the next one, you have better choice in number 6 to number 10. It's like we have to base on the meaning so that we can, try to guess the correct word. But have to remember to use the correct form based on the subjects of the sentence. Okay, just remember one thing is that we have to use the correct form here. Okay, so now let's move on the last part of today's lesson. We're gonna learn about a rhymed in and a rhymed at and how to use it in some situations. So the first one we have is we use a rhyme in. We use a rhyme in. We have a rhyme in is a phrasal verb. We use a rhyme in with countries, with towns and cities. So we have examples here. I arrived in Britain, or I arrived in Oxford, or I arrived in Hanoi, I arrived in Ho Chi Minh City. So we use with countries, we use it with towns and with cities. Okay, the next one we use arrived at with buildings or events. Building or events. Like we arrived at the cinema, we arrived at school, we arrived at this party, we arrived at a birthday party. Okay, we don't use to with a rhyme. So we just have two kinds of phrasal verb of a rhyme. It's a rhyme in and arrive at. But we don't use arrive to somewhere. Like if we want to say we want to like go to Ho Chi Minh City, we can say I arrived in Ho Chi Minh City, but we cannot say I arrived to Ho Chi Minh City. Just remember, we don't say I arrived to the cities, to somewhere. We have to use arrive in or arrive at because we don't have arrive to. And the last, rules of this one is we don't use in or at with home. So we just say I arrive home or I go home. We don't say I arrive at home, I arrive in home. We don't say that. Just remember. Okay, so for example, when someone asks you, like, when do you arrive home? So when you want to say, I arrived home at 5 o'clock. Yes, but we don't say, I arrive at home. Okay, is that okay? Okay, so just 4 rules of arrive in and arrive at. But we have two things very easy. Like we don't use arrive to with somewhere, and we don't use arrived in or arrive at with home. Very easy to remember. Okay, so now easy task. Find 2 examples of arrive at in the text. You can say the full sentence to me so that I can identify which one.
The first is when the train arrives at the station.
Okay, so here I see when the train arrives at the station and the doors open. Okay, so that is the first one. The first example. Okay, we have 2. So which is the another one?
And when you arrive at the second station.
Very good. So here, when you arrive at the second station, you have to catch the same train. So here are 2 examples of arrive at. Just find examples. Okay, now this is gonna be the exercise for arrive in and arrive at. So you have to choose one of these, choice to complete the sentences from number 1 to number 5. Or there has some situations that we don't need to use in or at.
Okay.
Okay, finished. So the first one we use in or at or no preposition.
You at.
Arrive at. Okay. Are you sure? Okay, so we arrive at the Partington station at 10 p.m. Number two.
Let's have a dinner when we arrive at.
Good. So let's have a dinner when we arrive at the hotel. Number three.
No preposition.
No preposition, so we don't use in or at. For home, we just say I usually arrive home at 5 p.m. So we're gonna put this one in here. Number four.
Arrive in.
When do you arrive?
When do you arrive in?
And do you arrive in Budapest? So we use arrive in with the towns, with the cities, and with the countries. Okay, number five.
And number five, before you arrive in.
Okay, so easy one. Arrange your visa before you arrive in the USA. Okay, so arrive in and arrive at is quite easy to remember. Okay, so we're gonna move to the last part, which is ask and answer the questions. So here we have 5 questions. So I will ask you some questions and then you're gonna answer this. Okay. So the first question is, how do you usually get to home? I get to school. Sorry. How do you usually get to school? How do you usually get to school? Like I usually get to school by bus, by train, or by car, or I walk to school, or I go on foot.
I usually get to school by motorcycle.
Okay, by motorcycle. So how does your mom or dad get to school?
My mom.
How does your mom or dad get to school? Or get to work? Sorry. Get to work.
My mom and dad get to work by motorcycle too.
By motorcycle too. Okay. How do you usually go on holiday?
I usually go on holiday by bus.
By bus? Okay. So how do you usually get to other cities in your country? Have you ever been to other cities? Like aside from Ho Chi Minh City?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so how do you usually get to other cities?
I usually get to other city by bus.
By bus? By bus? How? Really?
I know it's
By
by car.
By car is acceptable, but we can't get to other city by bus. Okay, so the last question, when do you go shopping? So how do you usually get to the shops? Have you ever, so do you usually go shopping?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So how do you get there?
I get to the shop. I motorcycle.
By motorcycle? So who do you go with?
My family.
You go to the shop you go shopping with your family by motorcycle at 3 people. Or by motorcycle with 3 people or by car?
I usually get to the shop by 2 motorcycles.
So what I'm curious about is like you go shopping with your family and then you go by motorcycle and then your father will drive, your mom and you. 3 people on a motorcycle. Yes. Really? Okay, so do you have any questions for me?
How do you usually get to work?
I go on foot to work. I don't have any transportation, so I have to go on foot. Like I walk to my workplace all the time because I don't have any transportation.
When you go shopping, how do you usually get to the shop?
Actually, I rarely go shopping, but when I go shopping, I usually catch a book grab to go to the shop because I don't have any motorcycle or any motorbike. So I have to book grab to go to the shop.
I don't have any question.
Okay, so you don't have any question for me? Okay, so let's summarize all the things that we just learned today. So in today's lesson, we just learned some phrasal verbs, which is very difficult to remember. So here is the thing that, so the phrasal verb is quite difficult. So we have to remember, this is not follow any rules. So it's all about memory. We have to remember the phrasal verb because each verb will go with the different preposition. So the important thing is that we have to remember what preposition that the verb go with and their meaning. because they all have the different meanings. So it had a lot. So we just have get in, go up, go by, and wait for. Today we learn 4 phrasal verbs and some new words like catch, meet, and cross. When we use it when we take part in a traffic, we go on the road. So here are the things that related to the traffic. And about arrive, we have 2 kinds of arrived, which is arrive in and arrive at. And here are some rules that we have to remember when which situations that we use arrive in and which situation that we use arrive at. So I hope that you can remember all the things that we just learned today. So, okay, so the time is over now. So I think our lesson is coming to the end. Okay, so this is the end for our lesson today. See you next time on Saturday. See you later.
See you too.
See you. Bye.